Just to follow up with what Richard said, a little bit about the concert venue aspect of everything. Some high-profile artists have already booked performances this fall in large Vancouver venues. So could you talk us through how those events were granted approval if we're being told not to expect to gather indoors in large crowds anytime soon? And will concert goers here be expected to show proof they're fully vaccinated or wear masks?
Yeah, so we've not approved any large concerts or large events for the fall. I know that many have planned these with the expectations that certain things may be in place, and I know that's something that we've been working with industry on, but none of them have been approved. We have not yet determined capacity limits as we're going into the summer or into the fall, but we have signaled that they will, of course, be higher than they are now, and that depending on how things go, we hope to get back to a sense of normalcy into the fall. The caveat, of course, being that we don't yet know what's going to happen in next respiratory season, and we may need to pull back on some of the measures, or at least on a local level, institute some different measures to try and prevent transmission of infections. So there's a big unknown still yet, but none of those have been approved for use, approved for going ahead, and I know there was a couple that were being advertised for early in June, and you know, there's reasons why promoters don't cancel until closer to the date when they have better understanding of what actually restrictions are going to be in place. And
Marcella,
sorry, Marcella, I missed there was another part to that question that I'm not sure I answered.
The other part was whether or not people are going to be expected to be fully vaccinated or wear a mask. But if I can still have my second question, if you could please tell us if any of the people now testing positive for the virus or who have died this week were fully vaccinated, and possibly commit to regularly reporting that information like other provinces do.
In terms of whether you have to have proof of vaccination to attend events here, that's not something that I support from a public perspective. So I know individual businesses and organizations are looking at that, but there are legal and other ramifications to that as well. Yes, we do report on breakthrough, and so I can sort of answer those questions. I do get regular reports, and we are following it, but not on an individual basis. We do know it for outbreaks, for example, and the individual clinician looking after somebody will be able to say, I can tell you what percentage of our cases are people who've had within 21 days of first dose or 7 days of second dose. And I don't have it in front of me today, although I was looking at it just yesterday. But I can get you those numbers. The one person who died today, as far as I understand, was not immunized. The rate of infection and the risk of hospitalization and ICU and death is still much, much higher in people who are non-immunized versus immunized. But as the number of people who are immunized and the proportion of the population immunized goes up, the absolute numbers of people who get infected who have been immunized will go up as well. But thankfully, as our numbers come down, that still is a very small number of people. But I can provide you that information. And yes, I know we were looking at how to report that out on a regular basis, and I'll work with the BC CDC to do that.